Good afternoon, Miss Irene. I am Neil Ursel and Mole, assigned to report the Module 8 of Understanding Culture of Society and Politics that was entitled Kinship. Kinship refers to the web of social relationship that humans form as part of family, which is the smallest unit of society. Number 1. A family is a socio-economic unit. This implies that the family acts as the primary support group of its members as they participate in the social processes within a society. 2. A family can have one or more parents. In the society that you grow up in, a family usually consists of two parents, a father and a mother. 3. A family can have parents who are not married. This puts into perspective the concept of common law marriage, which is an informal union of at least two individuals who present themselves as a couple. A family can have parents with same gender. The United States now allows same-sex marriage which create families with either both female and both male parents. A family should have at least one child. One of the most critical elements of the family is the existence of children. Without a child, a couple remains a couple, not a family. Kinship by blood. A factor that allows an individual to identify another individual as the family member is through consanguinity, popularly called as blood relatives. This type of kinship likes individuals based on their genetic relations. This is referred to a descent or their socially accepted connection between a ancestor and its succeeding generation. Lineal descent. This allows an individual to affiliated to descend one sex group only, either the male or the female. There are two types of lineal descent. Matrilineal descent lead matrilineal and patrilineal. Matrilineal descent leads an individual to trace kinship relationship through the female line. In patrilineal descent, an individual traces his or her kinship through the male lines only. Bilateral descent. Unlike lineal descent that tends to focus on one line of kinship, bilateral descents allow an individual to trace kinship ties on both sides of the family. This means that individual can recognize both his or her parents' relatives as his or her own relatives. The next one is kinship by marriage. It's defined as the socially or ritually recognized union or legal contract between spouses that establish rights and obligation between them and their children, and between them and their in-laws. For example, marriage in the Philippines implies being officiated into the union by either a religious leader or a representative of the government such as city or a municipal mayor or a judge. Next is patrifocal and matrifocal. This type of family is focused on one parent, a mother patrifocal and a father patrifocal. This type of family is often associated with the term patriarchal and the role of a father, and matriarchal is the role of a mother. Monogamous. This type of family consists a single couple and their child and children is also referred to as the nuclear family. Most society in the world have this type of family. Serial monogamy occurs in a society where remarriage is allowed after a divorce or a death of other spouses. Polygamous. This type of family consists one of several parents and their children. This is also two types of polygamy, polyandry, and polygyny. Polyandry is a marriage pattern wherein a woman is allowed to marry several men. Extended family. This type of family has several married couples and their children living in one household. This can consist as the married parent and their married children living in one house. Filipinos and other Asian societies are known to practice extended family arrangement as a form of securing care of the elderly members of the family. Reconstituted family. Though not part of the traditional categories of families, reconstituted families are a growing percentage of household classification in countries allowing divorce and legal separation. Post-marital residency rules. One of the biggest questions of newlyweds have to answer to live and build a family after a marriage. Every society has its own rules of tradition on post-marital residency. Anthropology has identified 7 major residency patterns: patrilocal, matrilocal, avunculocal, neolocal, natalocal, multifocal, and andambilocal. The next one is patrilocal residence. Upon marriage, the woman is expected to transfer to the residence of her husband and father. Her children will be raised by her husband, family, and be integrated to their lineage, allowing for the creation of patrilineal descent. Virolocal residence is a subset of his practice that focuses only on the transfer on the woman from her parents' residence to that of her husband, without consideration for creation of patrilineage. Matrilocal residence. Upon marriage, the man expected to take residence with his wife, mothers, areas where they are expected to raise their children and integrate them to maternal line, creating a matrilineal descent. A less complex rule of merely requires the husband to move into his wife's mother household without consideration for the creation of matrilineal age. Neolocal resident. This is an arrangement that requires both spouses to leave their household and create their own and times even in a different locally. This support the accretion household and is commonly experienced in developed and industrialized society. And nuclear family essential consists of parent and a child. Avunculocal residence. This complex residency pattern is required to residency transfer. Upon marriage, the couple practices of form is virility and raises their children in household of their husband's father. However, upon reaching adulthood, these children will have to be relocated with their mother's brother and live with him and his household, which may consist of his wife and young children and the other adult male offspring of his sisters. The local residence. These arrangements allow both spouses and remain with their own household after marriage. The couple will have to arrange for meetings and the two are not living under one household. Their children are allowed to choose which household they would join. Should they choose to join their father's household, they'll be integrated in a patrilineal descent. However, if decide to join their mother's household, they will be a matrilineal descent. Matrifocal residence. This type of residency rules arise when the mother is economically and physically enabled to provide support for this family, thereby ascribing the role of sole provider and caregiver to the woman in the situation of the children. Reside with her mother who is part of her mother household. This is different concept of axo-relocality or even matrilocality. Both patterns allow for the cohabitation for the husband and the wife. The next one is umbilical residence. This type of residence pattern allows the couple to choose to live either with the wife's mother area or the husband's father area. This often creates an extended families as several married children and married couple may cohabit in one household. Transnational family. Due to globalization of transnational movement of people, families tend to practice alternative form of residency pattern that are not based on lineage perpetuation, but more on economic reason, such as job apart, educational advancement, and job placement. This creates transnational families of families whose members reside separately across territories. For example, the Overseas Filipinos Worker or OFW phenomenon experienced by considerable number of Filipinos contribute to the growing number of transnational families of Filipinos parents reside outside the country to work while their children remain in the home country of study. Politics of kinship. Kinship that are not only create social ties among individuals in some cases. Politics and kinship are interrelated, allowing for creation and political alliance and dynasties. Political dynasty. A political dynasty refers to the continuous political rule of one family. This can be in the form of succession, of rule in the occupancy of several political positions by one family. Due to the compadrazed system, political alliance are also created which is based not on agreed political ideology or platform but more pseudo-kinship. And that's it. Thank you.